Hello, 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 and welcome back to the 12. This is a show about the Women's Super League, aka the highest division of women's football in England. We're here to discuss all things WSL both on and off the field. Each week, we'll be breaking down games, showcasing stars, and highlighting important stories surrounding the game. My name is Deepti, and I'm here with my co hosts Mark, Tombaum, and Treb. And this week, we're going to start off with something that's going to be kind of difficult to talk about, but it's really important to talk about. And of course, it's about what happened to Matt Beard and the news that came out about that. He passed away suddenly. He unfortunately took his own life. Um, and honestly, yeah, it was just like shocking news. I think that no one ever was expecting, and um, it's been bittersweet, like heartwarming, but also heartbreaking seeing all the tributes come in about him because you can really tell how much he was like loved and valued in the women's game, and he was truly like one of the good guys. So we want to start off this episode by just like paying our respects to him. I guess each of us can say a little bit about like what we thought about him and what kind of impact he'll leave on the women's game.
Deeply, I think it's so interesting that you said like it's heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time. Like hearing all of the stories, like um, that he, around the women's football world that he was involved in. Um, I know that there was a story like he was essentially a real estate agent before he got into coaching, and he sold Jackie Oatley her house. And when he and then he was like, "Oh, I'm starting to be an assistant coach at Charlton." Like, and you just think about all of the teams that he's been with, like Charlton and uh, West Ham, Chelsea, Liverpool, Boston Breakers, even on this continent. And it's just it's a reminder that even though you might not recognize the small things that you do, other people do, and they matter a lot. And that makes you matter a lot. And we need you here. And so if that speaks to you in any way and you are struggling, please know that you are loved and you are needed. And there are resources ready for you to latch onto if you need help.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. That's yeah, it's something, I think for me what hit the most is the like you said, it's one of those things where um all these good things and good stories and everything coming out about this coach who in the game where we've seen a lot of abuse and a lot of not so good things happen, it was in a way really nice to see that there were a lot of good things that people had to say about him and that he did leave like such a strong impact on players, and so much that they're like, "Oh, you're the one of the only ones who believed in me. You're one of the only ones who thought I was like a good player and could develop." And he was good at developing players, and like he was a good coach. He led teams to finals. He led teams like he led Liverpool to two WSL titles in a row. He was massive for, I mean, Liverpool is probably what, he'll be known most for, as like Liverpool legend. But like you said, he even coached in the US, Boston Breakers. He was like responsible for bringing Rose Lavelle into the league. He drafted her. So big names, a lot. He's touched a lot of people, coached a lot of the people who we have come to like love watching. And I think that it's only now that I've like truly realized what big impact he had. And Mark, if you want to say what we're talking about pre-show, about his time at Chelsea and how he even started that.
Yeah, and really, I'll piggyback off your point in terms of just um, I did not realize just how impactful Matt Beard was for um, you know the WSL and women's football in England as a whole. You know, I mean, like first and foremost, like that his time at Liverpool, you know, that was transformational for the league. You know, that ended Arsenal's run of dominance, and you know, who knows what could have happened in terms of Liverpool and their fortunes, right? Had they continued winning, you know, they could be where Chelsea is now. But Matt Beard himself was at Chelsea before his time at Liverpool and before Emma Hayes' time at Chelsea. And Chelsea, like every club, you know, gave a press release, you know, sending their expressing, you know, their sadness and sending their condolences. But especially the clubs who, you know, he spent time at. Chelsea was one of them, as was mentioned, and they said in the press release at the top, Matt was someone who helped shape Chelsea women during his 3 years in charge between 2009 and 2012, laying much of the foundations prior to Emma Hayes' arrival. Matt was at the helm as we moved to Stainstown's Wheatsheaf Park, entered the new Women's Super League, and guided us to our first Women's FA Cup final in 2012. And then, you know, it just goes on to say how loved he was by the players and everyone involved. You know, players and staff speak of a man who wasn't just your manager, he was your friend. And so, you know, and I think that was a consistent theme in the statements that we saw from teams, from players. And you know, I again, like this point has been made by both of y'all, but you know, just we're so used to coaches in the headlines for the wrong reasons, particularly in the women's game, right? And just to see this man so overwhelmingly loved, like literally not a bad word said about him, you know? Yeah, it's just he died too young, but he made such an impact in while he was here, you know, even by the young age of 47, you know. So yeah, I hope that the WPLL is the name of the body. I hope that they come up with like a fitting tribute for him, because you know, Matt Beard is someone that needs to be recognized and commemorated on that level.
Treb, anything?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much just echoing what everyone else is saying. I think Liverpool, on their Instagram, they put out a very beautiful tribute to him, and it just kind of adds to just like everyone has been saying, just how heartwarming and how heartbreaking it was, because like in this tribute, like you see how much joy he had, how much joy he brought to others, just how much he enjoyed being involved in women's soccer, and just being someone that could help push the sport forward and lead and kind of develop young talent and be the one that others looked up to. And so yeah, just a very special light. And honestly, it made me really think about last year Norwich put out an advert called You Are Not Alone, and it's a video that many of us have probably seen, but if you haven't, I would very much recommend you watch it, because it is an advert that shows just how much mental health affects us in ways that we may not see, right? Like, it's just to kind of give you a TLDR, like it's an advert that shows two men, Norwich fans, going to the game throughout the season. One of them looks very solemn and somber and sad. The other looks very, you know, jovial and excited and happy and laughing. And at the end, like the latter, the one who's always looking happy, is the one that ended up you know, not being able to make it all the way through and taking their own life. And it just kind of illuminates the fact that you just never know the struggle someone is going through. They could really put on a strong face on the outside and be fighting some real demons. And so, like Tom said, like I think just for me, the most important thing is just everyone remember that you're not alone. And in any way you can, seek it, seek help, seek confidence, seek you know, friendship, just anything. I know some of us, like, we have group chats that we're part of. We have our little circles of friendships that we're part of, just people that we can lean on. And even then it gets hard. And mental health is something, like, speaking from experience, mental health is something that you never truly overcome ever. It is a constant daily battle. But the best thing that you can do, and the most important thing that I would stress, is just to always try your best to have that support, because talking about it goes further than you might imagine. And yeah, like, it was really shocking to see. Not only that he passed, but the way that he passed, it was just one of those stark reminders that life is hard. And to anyone out there listening, just know you're not alone, and sending all the love to his family and to those who are affected by his loss. And it's going to be really hard to find another light like that in women's soccer. Like everyone has said, just with the evils that lurk around it, we need more people, not just men in this realm, in this sport, but like, we need more people like Matt Beard, who are gonna do their best to illuminate joy at every chance they can.
Yeah, and I think, in a way, it's fitting that Liverpool's slogan is "You'll never walk alone." And I think that comes at a really important time. So, like, yeah, if there's anything to take away, it's that. Echoing what you guys said, people want you here. Find the help that you need, and try to just, like, get through it. I know, obviously, easier said than done sometimes, and mental health can be such a challenge, but yeah, you are loved and you are needed. But yeah, just to one more time say that Matt Beard will very much be missed in the game, and is one of those irreplaceable ones. And like Trev said, will be very hard to find someone else like him. All right, it's been 2 weeks since we have recorded, and a lot has happened in terms of matches and news, and even like the Subway Cup. I'm not going to say the full name. Tom can say it.
I don't even know if I remember the full name.
It's like
it's so
Subway
long.
cookie cutter,
footlong cookie,
Subway footlong.
cookie on the side, large drink,
cup,
extra teriyaki sauce cup.
There you go. But what we're gonna do is really quick go through match week 2, recap that. We'll just say the scores, maybe one highlight, and then predictions, because remember, we have our prediction game. So quick recap of the points of our prediction game. After match week 1, Tom was in the lead with 6 points. Then it was me with 4 points, tied with Mark also at 4 points, and then Treb comes down with 3 points. Now we'll go through match week 2 scores and see how that changes, because some things did change. Started off with West Ham versus Arsenal. Arsenal thumped them 5-1, as they should have. It was expected. The only maybe worrying thing is that Arsenal conceded early. That was just like almost a fluke. It seemed like, where Van Domselaar I think she just stopped looking at the ball when she like went up to grab it. And one of those things, it's like, keep your eye on the ball until you like secure it, or like any sport that involves a ball, you like keep your eye on the ball until you're done with it. And I feel like it was one of those where she just lost it because she just looked away for a second. Yeah,
it
go
does.
ahead.
It does fit the narrative that Arsenal plays on a script. They're going to concede the first goal and then score a whole bunch more after that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the spark they need every time, right?
Need
To start doing something.
get a good kick in the pants to get the match started.
Well, for predictions, Treb, we all had Arsenal winning, but score-wise, none of us hit it on the head. You three predicted that West Ham would score. I said it would be a clean sheet, but we all get a point for that one. We were close enough in terms of scores. It was like multiple goal win, basically. Then Man City versus Brighton. Man City won 2-1. Brighton is underwhelming me so far. I mean, I guess after match week 2. But
yeah,
we'll get into them for sure for match week 3. But
yeah.
I also
It
have
was-
thoughts on Brighton. I feel
it
like we
wasn't
all have
great.
thoughts on Brighton.
It wasn't great. Like, first of all, shout out to Fran Kirby for not only playing in matches but then announcing matches. Like, she was the commentator in the City Chelsea
The
match.
Chelsea match.
Yes. So shout out to her for like pulling double duty. But I like, she looked good in that match for Brighton, but she was like the only player that looked good in the match for Brighton, honestly. Also, it took City way too long to start scoring, and that bothered me. A lot.
Fair.
Another team is time to have a conversation about. I feel like getting there.
Oh, listen. I hate not Seb Hines. I hate him a lot. Not Seb Hines is not my friend. I hate him. He can go.
Oh man,
Not Seb Hines.
Is it because
crazy.
he's not Seb Hines?
You
that's
know,
part of it.
that's a big reason.
But yeah, Brighton. We'll get to Brighton more, but they were showing glimpses. Like, I think what's been disappointing for me is that Michelle Adjumeng hadn't scored in the first 2 matches, and I was just like, come on. She was very close. Like, I guess the rebound off of her try, like, was what got Fran to score. But anyway, prediction wise, Treb, Mark, and I all thought it would be a draw, so no points for us. Tom, however, had faith in his own team.
Yeah,
Guess
that's
City
like
would
that's
win,
like by default.
and
Like, you gotta have
guess
faith
who
in
would
your
score
You know what, though?
correctly.
It's great because I take a 2-point lead on everyone.
Zero
just based off of
objectivity.
that.
Zero
And,
objectivity.
and I'm fine with that. And I'm good with that.
So +2 for Tom there. Then we had Aston Villa versus Chelsea. Chelsea's underwhelming me. Very much so. They look super vulnerable. However, they still pull out the wins, and they ended up winning 3-1. Actually, yeah, say your thoughts really quick on Chelsea Villa first, and then we'll do scores.
Yeah. So the biggest story from this was Sam Kerr coming back and scoring at the end, scoring her 100th goal for the club. So congratulations to her. But yeah, this match, it was an interesting one because Villa, especially the first half, looked better than Chelsea objectively. Like, they won the ball back repeatedly in the final third. Chelsea, on the other hand, when they pressed, I thought Villa played through Chelsea's press a number of times. When like Chelsea get the first goal, it's kind of against the run of play. Ebony Salmon equalizes. Really, like seeing her score. I hope this is.
Oh yeah, that goal was so pretty.
Yeah, and the feed is who was it that supplied her?
Chastity Grant.
Yeah. I think that was to me was a glimpse of what Villa can do. And their match did not happen. So this is actually the last match we saw from them. And so I think they should take some positives from this match, even though, it went the way that I think we all predicted, some more accurately than others.
So, well, we all predicted Chelsea win, so we all get 1 point for that. Mark and I said 2-1, so unfortunately we stick with just 1 point. Trev and Tom both guessed correctly, 3-1, so +2 for both of them. Trev would have gotten a bonus point if Alyssa Thompson scored a debut goal. Unfortunately, she did not, but if you listen to our previous episode, we were correct in saying that Sam Kerr would score within minutes of her returning, which she did.
It took a few matches for her to come back, but she came on and did exactly what we thought.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then we had London City versus Man United. And once again, Man United scored many goals. They beat London City 5-1. And United looked pretty strong. And this was coming off of a loss in their first Champions League qualifier leg against SK Bren.
But they didn't have their own shoes.
Yes, we'll get to that. We will get to that.
They actually they literally left their shooting boots.
Literally left their shooting boots at home. But yeah, they look strong. London City still looks a little bit discombobulated.
I wonder if this is just a team that is so much in a rhythm versus a team that is still learning the league. Obviously you know, United's been here before, and they've been playing all of these matches in Champions League, so they have their preseason was a little bit more intense than London City's would have been, especially like London City's still trying to acclimate players to being there since Kang brought in
Everyone.
and literally everyone.
And their mother.
And sisters too.
Yes. But yeah, I think that's exactly it. It's like growing pains on one side versus like having more time together and already gelling on the other. Treb and I both thought it would be a draw. No points for us. Tom and Mark predicted a United win. So +1 for them. Nobody guessed 5-1 though.
That's a lot of goals.
It is a lot of goals. So then what do we have next? Leicester City versus Liverpool. This one, I think, surprised us all that Leicester City beat Liverpool 1-0. And that too was like minutes after going down to 10 women. They scored the go-ahead goal and won.
Liverpool have shame.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could walk away from that match and not just say.
And it was Emily Van Egmond who scored too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Double half shame. Come on, guys.
Like, bruh. Like,
giving up a goal is one thing, but to do it after you go up a player,
yeah,
to Leicester, like that is
to Emily Van Egmond, dog.
I think it's a sign that says like we're, you know, I don't think the take that Liverpool are probably closer to a relegation team than most would want to admit is not true, right? Like that's it's not looking good for them. And we'll get to them later too, but like it's not looking good for Liverpool at all.
And on the flip side for Leicester, and we'll talk about them, you know, in the following week as well. But you know, I think a big part of that a team being in a relegation fight is the spirit, you know, like the psychological aspect. And it seems like Leicester kind of actually have that in spades versus Liverpool, you know, who knows where they're at mentally now, you know what I mean? But it started off not great, right? So I don't know, man. And again, you brought in Gary Taylor.
First of all, that's to Mark's point. Liverpool has a negative, like they already have a negative X dog, and then you bring in a negative X dog coach. Good luck.
And you've basically given away Taylor Hines and Olivia Smith to a rival.
That's why they have.
We're not rival, but like like they vibes are horrendous right now.
Yeah, and like, I mean, quickly looking at the stats. Neither of them even generated like any XG really, but like that one goal was the one shot on target that Leicester had. And so like, I mean, Liverpool had 3 shots, so it's not much better, but still. Treb and Mark thought it would be a draw. No points for them. Tom and I both thought Liverpool would win. No points for us either. So nobody got that one correct. But do you blame us? Did we really think that Leicester would win? No.
Right mind would think Leicester would beat Liverpool.
That's why I thought it would be a draw. I thought at worst Leicester might get the first goal, and then that's why I said 1-1 draw, because I thought Leicester would get the first goal, and then Liverpool would figure out a way to get one more. But like, holy, they didn't,
and they couldn't do it.
They did
up a player.
And it was up a player for a while. It was up a player for like at least 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Actual shame.
And then the other one that, you know, shame on us for this one. Everton versus Tottenham. Tottenham beat Everton 2-0. We all thought Everton would win. None of us had faith in the Spurs.
No. We didn't think Everton would win. We absolutely buried Tottenham.
Correct.
To anybody listening to this, go back, pause it, go back to last week's episode, and just go to the part where we absolutely gave Tottenham the blues. We gave them no chance whatsoever.
We were just a week early. That's all that was. We were just a week early.
True.
We were just a week early.
True.
And to be fair, I wasn't like necessarily burying Tottenham, and I can say this as an Arsenal fan. Like, it wasn't even the burying of Tottenham. I just bought into because Everton did what quote unquote good teams would do to Liverpool, which is beat them by multiple goals, dominate that match. Like, I thought, okay, maybe Everton are about that business this year. And after that first week, there was nothing that Tottenham showed me that I felt like, okay, they were going to come in and do what they did. So I still stand by that prediction. I don't care.
I do too. And I have a theory, and I'll hold it until we get to their match day 3 match.
Okay, I'm intrigued. But yeah, I feel like this is just still like new manager bump. They are I don't think they figured it out like from last year. I think it's just like a first few weeks are gonna be like okay, and then they'll go back to their own ways. But yeah, it's just funny that we all thought Everton would win by several goals. Tom even had 5-1 for Everton. That's the one where you thought 5 goals would be scored.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So recap of points after match week 2. Tom is in the lead with 12 points. Mark comes in second place with 7 points. Treb and I are both tied at 6 points apiece. Tom's kind of getting away with it, but still plenty.
Still early. We got
time. Okay, do we want to do match week 3 right now, or we'll do a quick pause and talk about Champions League?
We can talk about Champions League. Do it in order of appearance.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so Champions League. Let's start with the qualifiers because we mentioned it before. The one team that had to qualify this time was Man United, and first leg we kind of already hinted at it. They didn't have their shooting boots. They left their boots at home. Actually, they didn't leave at home. Their boots got lost on their flight.
Lost in transit.
Lost in transit, and they literally didn't even realize until game day. And I put in the doc, I was like, no shoes, no service, because they were not playing. They had no service. They had like literally couldn't do anything. They had to go buy new boots from a store in Norway. And I think I read something, an article of like the person at the store was like, obviously they were like, a United manager or like equipment person came in and was like, I just need all of them. Like
give me all of your boots now.
And they're like, that was a great day for us. But yeah, so United lost the first leg 1-0. Honestly, I guess that shows you how much like the right equipment is necessary, because we even had, if you remember the infamous sock gate, Arsenal Chelsea, even having the wrong socks like threw Arsenal off their game. So like imagine having the wrong shoes on your feet.
I think losing your boots is way more mental.
Oh, absolutely.
That's like I think for the Arsenal one, it was more like, oh great, like now we have to wear Chelsea's like this. It's just more like this is
both are mental, I think, but like
when you have to, I feel like when you're missing your actual boots, it's kind of like, if I can make a baseball comparison, it's like having to get a new glove on the fly. Like everything is like new. It's not broken,
you haven't broken it in.
It's not really, broken in. That's the big
aren't
thing.
Used to it. Like it is just such. It's got to be such a shit experience. And then you're away too. Like you're in a whole nother country.
Yeah.
Like it just adds to like, this fucking sucks.
I actually, in that article that you read, DT, didn't he mention something about like they maybe got the wrong boots, like, or they didn't get the boots. There was some reference to like the type of spike that people normally get versus what they ended up getting.
Oh,
I don't remember. I'm not even sure if they have like
you're not gonna get the perfect vapors at a Dick's Sports.
Right. You know
what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna have the custom Nikes on deck, the custom Adidas or Pumas, right? Like,
well, then that gets me to another point. Like some of these players are like Nike athletes or Adidas athletes. I
think at that point it doesn't. I think at that point,
but like, okay, so like, but they also like, not that it doesn't matter, but like they have contractual obligations, and so if they're in a Champions League competition, I'm sure that there is probably something in their contract with that.
I think in this kind of thing, they get a leeway. I would imagine there's stuff in the contract that's like, look, what is that word? Extenuating circumstances. Yeah. That one tripped me up. That says like, hey, if your equipment manager loses all of your equipment, you kind of, if you're at the point where you're having to go to the local sporting goods store, like I feel like at that point it's like get in where you fit in. and just try to
They
get
had
through it.
to
But
go
yeah,
to
you're
the-
not wrong. Like I think, like I said, I just think that like losing your boots is such a bit. It's not like, oh, we have to replace our shorts or our socks or our shirt or what. Like that is something that is uncomfortable. And like when you're talking about a sport that uses primarily your feet, like to have that be the part of your body that's the most uncomfortable is, again, like especially on the road in a match like that, I could see why they struggled against Brand, who isn't a bad club. Like that should be the other thing to point out. Like Brand isn't a terrible club, and so like it was just a perfect storm for them to take advantage of, and they did in that first leg.
I kind of want to see what's his face, the owner, when he found out how many thousands of pounds they had to spend on new boots for this team.
Radcliffe looked at that expense report and said, "Oh no, what they spent? How much? Oh no, this. Oh no."
I'm looking at the ESPN article, and like the shop owner said, yeah, spent several thousand pounds because they boots and shin guards. So they paid
Oh,
between
right.
200 and 230 pounds for each pair of boots, and then 30 pounds for the shin
Yeah,
guards.
Radcliffe was pissed. That man was like, "Listen, do we have to break out the fucking portables again? Because hey, y'all out here spending, you know what I mean?" He's like, that is an academy player's wage. We can't be having that. Can't be having
Oh,
that.
fair. Yeah.
Well, and to like not to like to put this on a serious note, I do hope that this does not come out of the women's team budget.
Oh,
going
absolutely.
forward.
Yeah.
It probably will, unfortunately.
And unfortunately, it sounds like it probably will.
Yeah, like we're joking, but like, yeah, like I'm sure that there are actual unfortunate repercussions to that because, again, for the millionth time, like their ownership does not like them. So,
also, fun fact, one of United's midfielders, Lisa Nalsund, is from Bergen, Norway, which is where Brann play. So she had her mother bring her boots to the stadium. So she was okay.
Mom,
They lost my boots.
They lost my boots. Can you bring mine?
she might. Was she the only one that balled that game? I feel
Yeah,
like
maybe.
She probably had the better rating. She was the 8.3 from FUTMob. Like I guarantee
it.
Can someone look that up real quick?
Wait, who is
Their
it? What did
rating
you say?
point.
I'll look it up right now. And
Lisa
go on to leg
Nalsson.
two.
But yeah. Anyway, they're doing some investigation, trying to figure out how the airline lost it. But you know what? What can you take away from this, kids? Anything important, take on a carry-on with you. Do not check in those things.
Yep.
You can't trust airlines these days. All right, while you're looking that up, Treb, I will go on to leg 2, which was a complete turnaround. United won 3-0 to go through to the league phase on 3-1 on aggregate. And it was a hat trick by Elizabeth Turland, who has been scoring so much in the qualifiers. I think this is like it would be 7 goals for her or something.
Oh, for the season? Oh yeah, that would.
No, for just qualifiers. I think she's had 4 already, and then had the hat trick.
But then she had that big number when they played London City too.
Oh
yeah,
right.
So she's racking in the goals already. I don't remember if it was a perfect hat trick, but I think she definitely got like one was a header, and then at least one was like whatever with her feet. But they looked like the United that we've seen in the first 2 weeks. Yeah, United's a scary team, honestly. I think of the teams in and obviously Arsenal played United in week 3, so we'll talk about that. But of the teams in the league right now, United are the ones that scare me the most.
I was since we were just talking about the goal tallies, I was looking to see who's the leading goal scorer in the league right now, and it is a United player, but it's not Turland. She only has 1 league goal right now. It's actually Melvin Mallard with 4 goals, and I think her being in the starting lineup and being a key player is maybe a game changer for them.
Well, like Skinner's playing her as a striker, like instead of playing her on the wing. So I think it's been interesting to see. In league play.
And then I wonder, because like Turland's obviously doing well too, and I feel like she's like the main center forward, kind of main talisman type of player.
Yeah.
So I wonder what like the plan is here. But I don't know. I mean, United are interesting because like they don't have as much depth as Arsenal or Chelsea, but like they have a pretty strong. I would even say like 12 or 13. You know, like they
Yeah. But that's the
really
key is like how their bench is not deep. They
Right.
have maybe 5 players on it.
right.
I think I said in the prediction show, like, and you're not going to see that now. You probably won't see it next month, but you're probably going to see it in November and December.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like by December.
Especially with Champions League.
Right.
Just to put a
And
cap
yeah,
on it,
so yeah.
Lisa came out as a sub, so they don't have a rating for her, unfortunately.
Oh.
I was really hoping to get that, but
I was looking too, and it was like FotMob didn't rank the game. Google didn't rank
no one.
players in the
I had to
game.
go to Yahoo to find actual rankings, and they didn't rate the subs.
Yahoo.
Yeah, I mean FotMob didn't rate the game at all. Like they didn't rate any of the players. So this is what we deal with women's soccer. Unfortunately, the statistics are hard to come by for things like this. Unfortunately, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, so Champions League phase. The women's side is now following what the men changed to last season. Do one of you want to go through how it's going to work? New format.
Should probably be somebody whose team is actually in it.
Man, we need to get a United fan in
Is it
here.
exactly like the men's side where it's the top? I think it's
It's not exactly. So it's like smaller numbers.
Smaller numbers.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is general. So each team is going to play 6 matches, which is not different from last season. But now instead of being in a group with 3 other teams, now it's one big table, and you play 6 different teams. And then the top 4 advance to the quarterfinals, and teams 5 through 12 will enter a 2-leg playoff. What I was trying to figure out is how they match up the teams who are 5 through 12. Because I remember for the men last year, they had this weird like there were like mini groups of 4, and then there was a draw. So it's like there were one of 2 teams you could end up facing, basically. I don't know if they're going to do that for the women or if they're just going to pair off like, okay, fifth place, 12th place, or what. But
I think the looks of it is going to be a draw because they say that after like into the quarterfinals, you're going to have the top 4 that advance. But then for the knockout, it says that it's going to revert back to the old format, like the old process. So I would imagine that also comes with drawing the teams, however they're going to decide to do the draw, and then that'll be who you play. Like I don't think it's going to be like 5 versus 12, 6 versus 11, etc.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Mark said, each team is going to play 6 matches, 6 different teams. So they'll have 3 home and 3 away. And the draw happened recently. And so I'll just quickly read out who the opponents are for each of our teams, plus United. So Arsenal is going to play I always forget that they're called the Lions or the Lionesses now.
Lionesses.
Yeah, Lionesses.
It's hard because they are the same name as England's women's team, right? Like the Lionesses, the Lionesses.
Yeah, and then the London City Lionesses. Like, there's too many lions.
Michelle Kang's French.
Kang, bro, what did you do, Kang?
That's
Michelle
true.
Kang
Michelle
finished
Kang
good.
wants her pride of lions all
Onward.
everywhere. So yes, Arsenal. The home matches are going to be the Lionesses, Real Madrid, and FC 20. And then away matches, you're going to be away at Bayern, away at Benfica, and away at OH Leuven in Belgium. Chelsea, home matches against Barcelona, surprise, surprise, home to Roma and to Paris FC, and then away at Wolfsburg, away at St. Polten, and away at FC 20. And then United is home against the Lionesses, home against PSG, so they got 2 French teams, home against Valerenga, and then away at Wolfsburg, away at Juventus, and away at Atletico Madrid.
Mark, UEFA really told y'all, like,
I mean,
You
okay,
gotta
wait a
prove
minute.
it.
Before we
You
get
just
into
gotta
that
prove it.
narrative, can I just like before we get into that narrative, everyone keeps talking about like how like, oh my god, Chelsea have to play Barcelona again. Woe is me. Like, can we all just agree that outside of having to play Barcelona, who they get at home, their group, their league is actually really favorable compared to what Arsenal and United have. Like, Chelsea are put in the absolute best spot outside of having to play the fabled Barcelona that we beat 1-0. Just saying.
Yeah. So one of the things about this the league phase format is that instead of having to wait till the semifinals to get Arsenal versus Lyon or Chelsea versus Barcelona, you just get that cocaine straight in the group stage. And that's exactly what UWCL did. They're like, we're gonna serve you this, white right off the top. In fact, the first match day, which so the league phase is going to start Tuesday, October 7th. And on match day 1, we have Arsenal Lyonnais. And something I was looking at that where I actually kind of agree with you, Trev. Chelsea don't really play a big team. So I think that there are 2 fixtures that obviously the home match against Barcelona. I think away to Wolfsburg could be drop points as well. The others fully expect to be wins.
Yeah, but that's a Wolfsburg that doesn't have Brand anymore, and it doesn't have Svendis anymore, and
it's not the Wolfsburg of old for sure. But yeah, like the first, so Chelsea start off with FC 20, then they get St. Polten. I mean, they're okay, right? The next match, let's see, who's. Oh yeah, so like they don't play Barcelona until late November, and then the Wolfsburg match is the last match of the group stage for them. So I think that's actually really favorable because like the point totals matter. Like all these teams, Chelsea, Barcelona, Arsenal, they're going to be in the same table. So like the ability to rack up those points early, I think is going to be huge for Chelsea. So I do think they lucked out in that regard.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like by the time you do play like Barcelona, you'll probably already know kind of where you stand if you're going to be in top 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I think UEFA also gave us a lot of like the run it backs, right? Like so you get Chelsea Barcelona is like the matchup that we've seen like the last 3-4 years. Then you got on the Arsenal side again, like you're home to Lyonnais, who you demolished at their house last year. They're going to absolutely be looking for that get back. Absolutely. And they have Yul Brand now. So that is a team that is reloaded in the summer. And so they're going to be ready. And then, of course, you're going to go away to Bayern, who Arsenal want to get that get back on after Bayern, blew them out last year. So, like I said, I think both, Arsenal and United have far tougher draws. I mean, obviously, I think it might be a little bit tougher for United just because this will be their first time in this kind of tournament, right? Like as tough as a draw it is for Arsenal. Like again, like they've played Olympique Lyonnais before. They know what Real Madrid bring. This time it'll be at home, so they might not have to deal with the rain and the garbage pitch that they had to deal with in Madrid the first time. I think Bayern away is going to be tough. I think Benfica might also be a little bit tricky.
I'm curious to see that one.
Yeah, I want to see because they've been like a sneaky decent team
right
in Spain the last couple of years, and so like I want to see how they look this year. And then again, that's an away game, so we'll see how that goes. But like, yeah, like that's a tough 6 games for Arsenal. And then again, like if you're United, you have welcome to the Champions League. Like you have Lyonnais, you have PSG at home, and then you go away to Wolfsburg and Juventus. And Juventus aren't a bad team either. Like they are a very tricky team to play, especially in Italy. So.
And Atletico aren't a bad team either.
No, they're not a terrible team. That I put them in the Benfica bracket of like, interested to see how they look this year. Because again, when you're talking Spanish football, everyone always talks about Barcelona, of course, and then like you have Real Madrid because they have Linda Caicedo and Atenea, but like there are other teams in there that are decent enough to give, others some problems, right? Like again, like we saw it last year when Arsenal had to go to Madrid in that first leg. Like it was a tough first leg. And so now, you don't really have that benefit of letting that first leg go. Like every match, like Mark was saying, every match matters and it's about point totals. And Yeah, I mean, I'm excited because it is, with this new format, like we are gonna get some heavyweight matchups in that first match day. Arsenal Lyonnais, Real Madrid Roma. Like we're gonna get Barcelona Bayern. Like that is a very very tasty match day one, and it's gonna set the tone, I think, for the rest
It
of the
is.
tournament.
And like that's why I like this format as well, because you do get those heavy hitter matches and more of them. And like I also just like the fact that you're playing 6 different teams. And because it's an international or like country, international, I guess is the right word.
Or
Yeah.
intercontinental.
Not intercontinental.
Yeah.
No, it's just still UEFA. So it's like but anyway, like you do get to see teams that you may not watch ever before, right? And so like OH Leuven, they're gonna be on such a big stage, just given the fact that they're gonna be playing like a team like Arsenal. And so I think that's really cool. I believe it starts, the first round is on the 7th, October 7th. So not too far away. We will definitely like recap those matches and slightly preview the ones that will be in. And yeah, I just really quick want to say you're talking about Yul Brandt on the Lyonnais. I'm more scared about Lily Johannes.
Oh yeah, don't even bring that. Like I said, they reloaded this summer. Like they.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to that when.
Real quick, Tom.
still
Like
have-
just as a neutral, Tom.
They still have Melchi. They still have the other Chewinga.
Okay,
Yeah,
they've
gone up. They've gone up.
Real quick, Tom. Like as a neutral, like what matchup in that first couple of match days speaks to you as someone with no skin in the game right now? Respectfully.
Thanks, buddy. But I'm gonna go with the Mary Earps Derby. PSG going to United. I don't know. It just could be. I will be interested to see how she is received.
That's a good one. I didn't think about that. I also kind of wish that PSG at some point plays Chelsea, just because I want to see Hannah Hampton versus Mary Earps.
They got so like everyone is so focused on that Barcelona match. They got so lucky with that draw. It's insane.
But yeah,
I'll be interested to see what Barcelona like as match days progress to match day 5. Like as a team that only has 16 total senior players, like how does that work? Like they will be interesting in this competition for sure.
I mean, they have the Ballon d'Or winner, right? Like they should do fine.
Nope.
Again, once again, we'll get to that maybe if we want to talk about those. But okay, anything else on Champions League? Otherwise, we'll go straight to match day 3 recap.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, match day 3. We're gonna go into a little bit more depth of these games. Starting with Everton versus London City Lionesses. That one was played at Goodison Park because, like we had said, Goodison Park is now the home for the women's matches. I'm so disappointed with Everton. Everton should not be losing these matches. First against Tottenham, now against London City, who I like on paper. I think Everton is better and have a stronger team just purely by the fact that they I guess gel better, and like from the first match that they played, it seems like they were stronger, but also in a way it looks like London City is growing into their boots now, and like start each week they maybe are getting a little bit better and better.
London City dominated this match. Like it really only a stupid pin kept Everton even close in the match. Letty was outstanding in goal in this match. Everton did create a few chances, but it wasn't necessarily because they're controlling the match. It's all the chances that they seem to create seem to be against the run of play. I wonder for Everton if there is a mental hurdle for them to clear as a club for them to play well at Goodison Park. Like I don't know if that's part of it.
I feel like we talked about this last season a lot. Well, like I know I talked about it a lot last season, how it felt like Arsenal was literally the only team in the WSL that seemed to play down in the smaller stadiums, right? Like they seemed to be perfectly fine at Emirates, and then like they would play down when they had to go to these intimate stadiums. Whereas a lot of other teams, understandably, like they get to the big stage, quote unquote, of like the main stadium, and they seem to kind of struggle to get going. Like it seems to be maybe the lights are a little bit too bright, maybe the moment is a little bit too large. And I think we're seeing that again this season with Everton. I think Tom's right, like because I'm with Deed, like I don't think Everton should have lost neither of these two matches. I think at worst you're looking at 2 draws, but especially against London City, they should have won with how they performed against Liverpool. And again, I know we're starting to see Liverpool is not the best barometer for like how good you are, but like the way that they dominated that match, I expected far more from them in London City, and I've just been really disappointed with how they've looked the last 2 weeks.
So I didn't watch this match in full, but I watched the highlights. And I think a couple things stood out to me. One, London City, like, for lack of a better phrasing, they just looked like a WSL team, like they looked like a proper actually like they belong, like they didn't look out of place. Like something that jumped out to me was their set pieces. I think Aslani was taking the corners, and it's just like they all look dangerous. Like they looked like they actually had routines. It was like, oh, like they're actually going at Everton. And Isabel Goodwin might be a talent to watch. I thought she was super intriguing. And she's like one of my favorite type of players, big, tall striker who can actually like kind of dribble. I think she scored both goals. She also had this move where she basically turned somebody on the half line, like down the wing, and like carried the ball all the way and eventually shot herself. Definitely gonna be keeping my eye on her. But this is Grace Guerrero came on at halftime, but like Grace Guerrero didn't even start this match, and so I just remember like I think my takeaway is we're still figuring out these teams, so you don't want to like make broad conclusions, but London City look a little bit ahead of the curve, especially when you if we think they're going to be in the relegation race.
Well, even if they are, I think it's important to point out that this year relegation isn't automatic. Like you still get that playoff game, and as it stands, even if they are in that relegation zone, I don't see them losing that playoff game right now, right? Like I think this is very much a team that is going to stay up for next year.
Yeah,
definitely. And I think also getting their first win away is huge, and that builds like even more confidence than doing it at home. And yeah, they're like I'm now interested to see what like how they progress from here. Is it going to be something that they can build on, or like was it just like one game one off where they just had a really good day? So but I do think they are starting to gel, but I think once Van de Donk and you said Giro did start, but once they all like come back healthy and start together, like will adding more players kind of ruin what they've been building in these first few weeks, or can they maintain it and just like become stronger with the addition of them?
And that manager's gonna have to manage that. And I don't know if he has the personality big enough to do that. Like, do you think that Jocelyn Persure is going to be able to like tell Grace Guerrero and Aslani and DVD how to get along in the midfield? I don't have faith in that, but like, good luck to you, sir.
Well, that will be something to watch for sure. I don't know much about Justin Fisher, but yeah, I think it'll be fun to like. It's just like a social experiment almost. That's what this team feels like, just like a big social experiment.
On so many levels. Like just from a age demographic of a they see.
Well, that's why I said this is just a team full of names. It feels like at times, and like even in that win, they didn't really like play like a team, but they played good enough to get past Everton. They're gonna have another tough test this week against Man City, though. God, their opening schedule is brutal.
It is.
It
Yeah,
truly was an introduction to the league.
It is like, hey, yo, here are the teams that you have to worry about. It's literally all of them, and it feels like, let me like double check real quick just to make sure, because like they played Arsenal away, they did play United at home, and then Everton away, and now they're gonna have to do City away, and their next match is Liverpool at home. So yeah, like that is a tough way to open the year.
Like WPL is treating them like a big team.
Well, I think that's also fair because I think even though they're the newly promoted team, like they're coming in with a lot of publicity just because of their owner, the way that they absolutely, I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of like they redid their whole roster coming into the WSL, right? So like you have a lot of big names, a lot of returning names to the league. Yeah, so it's fair.
Okay,
but
well,
also, like, good luck.
I have an interesting question then. For like a new team like this, do you think it's better if they do get thrown into the deep end and just like have the
I think so.
yes already against like the harder teams, or just like start with quote unquote easier matches to build confidence and then hit the big teams?
I think even if you're even if you're not new to the league, right? Like to make a comparison to the men's side, like Arsenal men have had a very tough start to their season in the Premier League, where it's like away to United, away to Liverpool, home to Man City in the first 5 matches. I think if you're a team looking to establish yourself, whether that be looking to stay up in a league or looking to be a championship contender, in my opinion, it's always better to get the tougher matches out the way first, right? Like give me the toughest schedule I can get so I can judge early what my team is looking like, especially in a sport like soccer in Europe where January means a chance to kind of rejuvenate the team, get in some new players, figure out what you need. Like I want to know as early as I can into the season what I might need, the players that might need to go, the players that might need some work, the aspects of what my tactics are that I need to work on. Like I would rather know all of that going into October, so then I can better prepare myself for some of these quote unquote inferior teams and then go on a run. Because like it's a long season, and you're going to take your lumps early, but if you can learn from that and adjust to that and go into like November, December, January much better because of it, I think that puts you in a very great spot. Especially again, knowing that you don't have to do it on the back end. I would rather do it at first than to have that be the end of my season, right? That's just me.
No, I think that's a good point, especially for one where, like you said, that having that January window, it is a good like litmus test in the beginning, and then being able to have that chance to like add stuff that you're missing and like add more tools to your arsenal.
I think with a team that has such disparate ages, being thrown into the fire like helps like kind of forge them together, and like you obviously as a team you have a common goal to win, but if you can get results like the result that they got against Everton on the road, that can kind of propel you to like, hey, we went to this big stadium and we dominated the team that plays there, like so we know how to do this. So then when you turn around and you host United, when you host City, when you host Arsenal, the thought process is like, hey, we know how to do this. Also, Trip, I thought you brought up a good point about refreshing the squad in January. I'm wondering how many of these younger players that are on London City that are not currently getting playing time, I wonder how many of them like secure loan deals elsewhere, like to get playing time during that time, and like what that does to the composition of the team.
Yeah. Well, time will tell. We shall see. But when it comes to predictions, we were all wrong. The three of you thought Everton would win. I thought it would be a draw. But yeah, 0 points for all of us. Next match, Tottenham City.
Speaking of predictions,
5-1 to City. I'll just, real quick, the predictions first, just because they're funny. Tom,
because
Mark,
I'm
and
the
I.
only one that picked Spurs.
Yep. Tom, Mark, and I picked City. Tom and Mark thought 3-1. I had 2-1. We all get a point for that. Treb, can you explain? 2-1
Okay, I
Spurs?
had
You
two.
better
I had
play with
two.
yourself.
I get it because I'm like the loudest Arsenal fan in this immediate circle.
Well,
I
also
get it,
just
right?
because Spurs?
Yeah, well,
Like
that's what I'm
any
saying.
Spurs.
Why would I pick Spurs, right? It was two ways of my thinking, right? Because coming into this match, again, this is important to note. Coming into this match, Tottenham hadn't conceded a goal. They were looking pretty decent. They were looking like a team that was maybe turning the corner. They were at home, and they were playing a City side that coming into this match had yet to really impress me, right? Like they looked okay, but they weren't looking like the City that I thought they would be coming into the season. Like there was no bite there. They were kind of like lackadaisical in a lot of areas. They looked very vulnerable. And going away to what was a hot starting Tottenham side, I very much thought like, yeah, this could be 2-1 Tottenham. And so like I knew I needed to catch up in the prediction standings too. So I figured like this could be the upset. You're gonna have to pick a couple upsets. And I thought this could be it. I did not expect City to finally wake up and figure out how to play football. Because holy shit, I'm never picking Tottenham again. So
That is what you said last time, and then you went and picked
no,
Tottenham.
I said I was never picking City again because like I thought that they were,
So everything Trev said about Tottenham, I had those same thoughts as well when thinking about predictions for this match. And then I was like, wait a minute. This is WSL Legacy. And WSL Legacy is City paced Tottenham. Every time.
That's true.
Every time.
True.
Like they give them the absolute blues. And so now I'll tell you what I did not see coming was City scoring 5 goals and none of them being scored by Khadija Bunny Shaw.
Bro, when she took the moment that she took the ball to kick that penalty kick, I said, oh, she's gonna miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's gonna miss. Like, and it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
She put the shot on frame, and fair shot to Lise Kopp because she obviously stopped it, but it wasn't a great shot. It was not a great.
To be fair, I knew I was in trouble, and I probably could have had time to change my prediction, but I rode with it. I knew it was in trouble when whose social was it? It was somebody. It was some league social. I don't think it was the official Barclays WSL league, but somebody posted. It was. They were the ones that posted like Tottenham 2 matches haven't conceded a goal, and as soon as they did that, I was like, oh shit,
it's like commentators
that's the kiss of death. Like that is like that's done. I was like, oh, this was not good to post 2.5 hours before this match, brother, because like City players are gonna see that, and you out here like as soon as that happened, I knew. I was like, oh okay, well shit, there goes that one. But yeah, I will say like I was looking for City to show me something, and they did. And like I know it could be again, like we're still getting used to what these teams are going to look like this season. We're only 3 matches in, but I just didn't think Tottenham would lay down like that at home. And City looked phenomenal. Like that was a City I felt like could have and should have beaten Chelsea to open up the season, in my opinion. And so, kudos to them.
When you don't play a center, when you don't put your best defender out at outside back and you actually leave her at center, it's amazing the things that you can accomplish. It's just wow. When Abba Fujino and Carolyn play, like shit happens, shit shakes.
Oh man, that was something that jumped out at me from the highlights. Caroline, aka Kerosene. It was all gas, no brakes, bro. She was. I had him on skates, dog. Like that was the Caroline that we're used to.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest takeaway from this match as a City person is that Lauren Hemp left the match in the first half. She's in a walking boot. Not Seb Hines is not saying anything about that at all. Also Grace Clinton made her debut. But when she got subbed on. She got subbed on as a winger, and I immediately like threw something at my television. Like it was a soft dog toy, but still, like, why is Grace Clinton playing on the wing? This don't make no goddamn sense.
But she scored.
She scored, and then she definitely immediately gave the ball away to Holt to score that banger. It was like, oh, Grace Clinton giveth, and she taketh away.
And she taketh. But yeah, I think for me, Caroline was player of the match. She had such a good game, but like City as a whole, just played so well, and like you could tell by like with like in the last 10 minutes, or at least ever since Bunny missed the penalty, she was dying for every single chance to like score one and get one into the back net. Yeah. And like laying her body on the line, she was like flying Dutchman it like all over the place. But yeah, that was good performance by them all around. 1 point for Tom, Mark, and I. No point for Trev for that one. Aston Villa versus Liverpool was postponed. Class move by both of them. TBD on when it will be played again. But then we had Brighton versus West Ham, and Brighton finally does something. Again, also figure out how to play football, and they win 4-1. This is closer to the Brighton that we like thought we would see in the first 2 weeks. And yeah, good to see them, doing something. Once again, I'm surprised that Ajamang hasn't scored. But Rosa Kafaji got a goal. So that's exciting for us as like Arsenal people.
I feel like, and I mean this with all due respect, because I think Michelle Ajamang is going to be a phenomenal player, but I think what you're seeing, like especially with the two players that Arsenal loaned out, is why they loaned them out.
Yeah.
Like I think so many people got caught up in, and rightfully so, like they got caught up in how well they were at the end of last season in the WSL, and then going, especially Michelle, going into the Euros and putting on the performance she did. There was like a lot of, why isn't Arsenal starting her? Why isn't Arsenal playing her? Like Arsenal need to keep her. And Arsenal were like, look, we just signed Olivia Smith to a £1 million contract. We still have Alessia Russo. This is a very young player. Let her get minutes in a place where there's not so much pressure on her. And we're kind of seeing like, this is why, because she's still a young player. And when you're talking about young players, no matter how talented, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be ebbs and flows. And right now, Michelle's in a bit of a lull to start the season. I hope that turns around. I hope the goals start falling. But I think just from like an Arsenal perspective, like you're seeing why they loan these players out, because imagine if she was at Arsenal struggling right now, like she would get no playing time behind Olivia and Alessia and Stina Blackstenius, who comes off the bench and scores at will, right? Like that is a deep striker pool. And so it's
and there's
good.
There's already commentary about a young player who can't get playing time at Arsenal, and they don't need another.
Exactly. Well, yeah, there's already Jenna. So like, we can talk about that later, but like, yeah. So like, this is what I mean. Like, this is why it's important to accept the fact that sometimes players like loaning them out is the best move, because it is vital that they get the playing time and fight through these lulls and fight through kind of like the bad times in a space and in an environment where there's not so much pressure, right? Because again, Arsenal are a team that are trying to go for another Champions League. They're a team that are most definitely trying to win the WSL. And like the last thing they need is their 18-year-old to be subjected to that pressure, especially as a young Black woman in this league. And we'll talk about why. Like, it's important for her to be in a space and an environment where she can kind of go through the bad times without having to deal with the immense pressure that comes with being an Arsenal player. So, I do hope the goals start falling for her. Like, I'm very much rooting for her.
I also think it's just different playing for club and playing for country. And so like the Euros is such a different environment that, coming off the bench for her there, playing for country was like maybe more suitable for her at this stage. And she just has to learn how to play, like to score in this league. And that's why she's on loan, is to get, like you said, get the playing minutes, get the playing time, get those chances, like brush off, anything that is preventing her from scoring any like I don't even want to say cobwebs because she's not old, but like basically get all those bad ones out of her system and then start getting going. But yeah, they played well. She did assist Kafaji's goal. But
do we need to have a discourse about West Ham?
yeah.
Like
West Ham, come on down to the basement.
Correct. Like I mean,
Am I shocked that they're in the basement? No. Do I think they'll end the season there? Probably not, but it's not great right now.
West Ham right now in the first 3 matches have lost by a combined 10-1. They lost 1-0 to Tottenham to open the season. Arsenal beat them 5-1 or 10-2, excuse me, and then Brighton beat them 4-1. So
letting the opponent score 5 times as many goals as you do in 3 matches is not a recipe for success for your season.
It ain't great.
No.
And I think a lot of people probably expect that scoreline from Arsenal where it's like, again, like I think we all expect Brighton to do good things, but to lose to them 4-1 is not phenomenal for their perspective, right? And then congratulations, you get to host Chelsea for this coming week. So have fun.
Well, yeah. It's one of those where it's like they're definitely still going to be a relegation battle team, unfortunately. Like, I feel like they have the tools to be a mid-table team. They're not doing anything with them. And it's even last season, I think they were, at least for me, they did like worse than I expected initially. Like overall, they kind of just didn't have a great season and it was very underwhelming. And right now it's going pretty much the same.
Shakira Martinez, get out. You go, like, not saying that like you're not wanted there, but you're so much better than that. Just find somewhere else. You got to get.
Yeah. How do we do on predictions?
Mark,
If it wasn't
for that very late goal, I would have
had
had it exactly right.
Yeah, I don't think I ever contributed predictions for this one, unfortunately.
However, Treb, Tom, and I all predicted a Brighton win. Treb was the closest. He predicted 3-1. Tom and I predicted 2-1, so we'll all get a point for that. But yeah.
Would have had it. I would have had that extra point. If Brighton didn't go ahead and score that late goal.
That one late goal.
Why, Marissa? Why are you doing that to me?
But yeah, that's on for that. And then next we had Chelsea, Leicester City, and I think this was, for me, one of the biggest shockers of the weekend. Chelsea won, as we thought. However, they only won 1-0. And if I go through our predictions, again, Mark, I'm disappointed you didn't give one for this one because I really wanted to know what you would have said.
I would have said like 5-0 straight up.
Okay.
To be perfectly honest.
Cool. Mark would have said 5-0. Treb said 4-0. I said 3-0. And Tom said 7-0.
A whole touchdown.
Football score. Football score.
Football.
I can't even be mad at that, but also like that's wild.
What? Like, listen. Sam Kerr got back. We saw Alyssa Thompson make her debut. And I'm just thinking, like, well, what about Leicester has shown me that?
But Chelsea just looks so vulnerable.
Okay. Let's talk about specifically where they look vulnerable, though. Mark, how concerned are you about your central midfielders?
Oh, the midfielders, I'm not concerned necessarily. I do think so. Kira Walsh, I guess she got player of the match. I thought she was fine, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where her game, it's like there were moments where I do think, she kind of helped play Chelsea through the press, had some like decent combinations, but I don't know. Like, so for one, Leicester were a bit more on the front foot than I was anticipating. And it actually it was kind of a decent match. But I didn't get to watch this match live. So when I saw it was 1-0, I thought, oh, we must not have created chances. Chelsea definitely created chances. In fact, the first goal was scored in the 7th minute. So you're thinking like, okay, here comes the 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. Aggie Beaver-Jones, 3rd goal in 3. She's 2nd in the league. It's obviously very early, but she's 2nd in the league in goals right now. And actually like showing some real noose, I think is the word I'm looking for, but like just understanding of how to be a center forward, to the point where I'm wondering, like, is she actually a center forward or a central player? Because you know, like she has good instincts. Like the way she scored this goal, it was, so there's a throw in, like kind of in the attacking third. Beaver-Jones holds up the ball, lays it off, and then kind of gets in position and kind of sits like onside but behind the line, and the ball basically goes through a defender's legs, and Beaver-Jones is one-on-one with the keeper and she blasts it, right? But yeah, she does stuff like that. Like she's neat with her feet, with her footwork. And I just think it makes her, like, allows her to operate in tight spaces. And so I'm curious to see, you know, especially with Sam Crystal working her way back, no Myra until January at least, like maybe Beaver-Jones is an option at center forward, because Chelsea have depth at attacking midfielder, right? Like we've gone, obviously we know it by now, but the player that to me kind of jumped off the screen in a not good way is Millie Bright. Like, and I think that Villa and Leicester were actually kind of targeting her, or like it seemed like when Millie Bright got the ball, it was almost like a trigger for them to get forward. And you know, I know I've said it before, like, but I just wonder how different would it look with Naomi Gurma back there, somebody who is comfortable on the ball, somebody who is comfortable bringing the ball forward, or, you know, just passing in the face of the press. I just think, I'm not sure if that's Millie Bright's strength. But Tom, you know, as a president of the Janina Leitzig fan club,
dog, she balled. She balled.
Yeah, she kind of did you dirty, but yeah, she absolutely. I see why you have stocks in her.
I mean, if she's okay, so Chelsea did not necessarily play a terrible game, like from a numbers perspective. Like if you look at the box score, like seeing, okay, yeah, they had 8 shots on target, but that means that Yanina Light, based off of the scoreline, Yanina Leipzig gave 7 of them. Like she wasn't. I really like her game, like, and I hope that she gets more of a chance with Germany, even if she's not playing at a bigger club, because I feel like she's battle tested and she's doing the things that you would want to see a national team keeper do. Maybe she presses for a move to a bigger team, but I'm really impressed by her.
Yeah. Even last season, she had such a great season. Like, you know, besides like the Hannah Hampton, Fallon Tullis-Joyce type, like just purely based off eye test, not scoreline, I would say she was one of the top keepers. And like, I don't always like how they give Golden Glove, because yeah, I know clean sheets are important, but clean sheets are like a whole team, or at least like defense and keeper thing. It's not just the keeper. And so I feel like eye test and like saves and whatever should be more of a factor. And she was one of the top for me, if not the best last season at doing that. So she's been great. She definitely kept it at 1-0. Like you said, there were 8 shots on target. Were they the strongest? Maybe not all of them, but it definitely could have been more than just 1-0.
And she kept her team in the game, you know, which is the most important thing, because, you know, at the end, Leicester had a couple of chances. You know, it's you could almost say they were unlucky to not equalize, you know. So kind of like there was a glancing header, I think, that if it connected better. Also, Hannah Hampton was forced into a couple saves of her own. And so, yeah, and after the match, you know, I think this really stood out to me. Yanina was interviewed, and she was just like really upbeat. And she was just like, yeah, it was like great effort from the whole team, and even though we didn't get the win, like really happy with how we played and so on. And it just, to me, like Leicester seem like, I don't know, like they just have a really good spirit about them right now, and I think that's really important for a team that's facing a relegation battle.
And you know what? To be fair, they probably thought they would lose by multiple goals too. And so to just have it at just 1-0, that's a win for them.
Can I also just say, like, I'm highly upset that Arsenal have to play Chelsea all the way in November. Like, that makes me upset. I'm not gonna say what I want to say, but like y'all have heard me say it off the air, but like I very much wish this Arsenal team was playing Chelsea right now, at least one time. It annoys me that we have to wait till November when they're probably going to have a lot better form after feasting on some of these bottom-feeding teams. Because, like I've said before, Chelsea look real vulnerable right now, real vulnerable. And anyway, enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts. We'll see. We'll see how it goes in January.
Well, I guess question for Mark, but anybody, who do you think, like, where's Chelsea's weakest link, and who do you think they're missing the most? Because, like, Lauren James is out, Naomi Girma's out.
I think that's who they're missing the most.
Girma. You said, like, because Millie Bright was targeted.
Yeah, I think that, like, I know like Tom mentioned, like, their midfield is really vulnerable right now up the middle of their team. But not having Girma there, who can kind of play that almost like a sweeper keeper defender type role, where it's like she covers so much space and in such a great way,
and is comfortable on the ball.
And is comfortable on the ball, like doing it. Like, I think once they get her back, it's going to it's almost like, again, to make another baseball analogy, it's like bringing in your closer. Like, once they get her back, it is going to be infinitely harder for any team, City, Arsenal, everyone in between, to get a chance to score on them. So, like I said, it's just very frustrating knowing that, like, I almost expect her to be there for that November match.
And actually,
like, we still don't know, like, if this is
we don't know any,
right? Like, we don't know if this is
if this we haven't done anything.
Yeah, like, I mean, I would assume it's an injury, because, like, why else would you keep Naomi Girma off of your 18?
Oh, yeah.
But we just don't know how long it's going to last. Like, we don't know how serious it is. Like, but I almost fully expect her to be there for November 8th. But we'll see.
And just speaking of center backs real quick, Verla Berman, 19-year-old Dutch center back, made her full debut for Chelsea. I'm gonna be real with you. I have no idea who this woman is. I learned about her for the first time this weekend. But she started at left center back. She actually was kind of key to the buildup of the goal. She kind of dribbled up into the final third and kind of played the ball into the final third. And I think Sonia's been experimenting with this 3 at the back. And I think there are a lot of people who like hear 3 at the back and automatically are skeptical of it. But I kind of like, I think it can work as a progressive formation if you have certain players pushing up, like the center back or, one of the wing backs is essentially acting like a winger. Like we saw Sandy Baltimore and then Alyssa Thompson play that role. I'm going to say, let her cook. Let Sonia cook.
Mark, I feel like you're the only saying
that. I definitely am.
I'm telling you right now. I am telling you right now. If I hear one more announcer say reference at Alyssa Thompson as an announcer, as a left back, I'm gonna catch a flight to London. And me and that French lady going. I see why other Chelsea fans want to fight that French lady, because, dog, what are we doing? Like, I know Alyssa Thompson is fast, but you just putting her at left back because she's fat? Like, that's crazy.
I mean, to be fair, she was picking up the ball on the left wing. She was taking on.
To be fair, why is she playing left back?
She was picking up the ball on the left wing. Like, she wasn't playing left back. Is my point. Like, she was playing left wing. Yeah, like where you would expect her to play.
Back, it's all the same. You're not playing her in attack. It is what it is, though. From an LA perspective, it is.
She was literally picking up the ball in the attack. What are you talking about?
Many blessings.
I'm not going to
From
get
one
in on this
unknown
argument.
18-year-old center back to a very well-known 18-year-old center back.
Man United versus Arsenal. 0-0 draw. I was so disappointed. There was like 0 XG I got on both sides. Like 0 XG, 0 goals. I think neither of them came to play. To be fair,
Snooze fest just.
I didn't actually watch it because I was out.
I
But
watched it,
I did
unfortunately.
not. After seeing that and seeing the stats, I was like, I'm not even gonna watch the highlights because.
What time was that match, Trev?
I think that was like a 6 a.m.er.
Oof.
Yeah, it was like just before
Thankfully,
3
it wasn't the
p.m.
4
local
a.m.
time.
Yeah, it was right after the 4 a.m. one. So I think it was like 6:30 a.m. Or no, it had to have been later because it was on. It was just ending as I was hopping on for the watch along for the Man City Arsenal match. So it was like it was like a 6:30 a.m. match.
For you. Because it was just before 3 p.m. local time is when it started.
It was just before. It was like just ending as the start of the men's side was starting, which that one started at 8:30 my time. So yeah, it was a 6:30 match. Yeah. Like I said before, like when we were going over the show in pre-recording, like it just felt like a match both teams were coming in to draw. It was very boring. I think Arsenal tried to pick it up at the end and just couldn't get it. I also think, and this isn't to make excuses, like I also think the way that not necessarily the weather, because it was a bright sunny day, but I also think that was the problem. Like the way that the stadium is set up and the way the sun was hitting the stadium, it seemed to have been annoying a lot of the players on both sides. Like it seemed like both goalkeepers were having to fight the sun. It seemed like both teams were having to you couldn't really send long balls in because it would get lost in the sky. It just felt like a very sloppy, boring match. But I think from both perspectives, you'll take the draw. But I think especially from an Arsenal perspective, you'd rather, if you're going to have that kind of match away, you would rather come out with the point than come out with the loss, right?
No, I definitely think a point is fine at this stage, especially against United. But I'm just more, I think, disappointed in that it was a snooze fest. Like I'd rather have been a fun draw where it's just back and forth.
And they had chant and this is the other problem about playing United that I don't think it's talked about enough. They have Fallon Tolan-Joyce in goal, and she alone saved 4 really good shots that probably would have been scored on anyone else for Arsenal, right? So she's a big reason that was a scoreless draw, because any other goalkeeper, I think Arsenal sneak probably 2 goals. So credit to her. And speaking of goalkeepers, I am a little worried, and we talked about this. I'm starting to grow ever concerned with Van Domselaar. There was a question posed by Tim Stillman today during Renee's media availability out in England in regards to Jenna Neiswanger, as we talked about, a player who hasn't been playing much. And the question was, why against United did you have 2 goalkeepers as subs instead of having Jenna in as a field player as a sub? And Renee alluded to the fact that with the context of how the team is right now, she felt a lot more she felt better about having extra depth at goalkeeper. And from what I understand is Van Domselaar was seen getting treatment in the tunnel at halftime. And the way that she's looked at the beginning of the season, we talked about that West Ham goal, kind of like that brain fart moment. We know that she's battling one of 2 injuries that she sustained before the Champions League final last year. She sustained an ankle injury and a concussion. And just from the eye test, she just does not look right 100%. It still looks like she's battling something. And I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I don't know. It could be the ankle. It could be side effects of that concussion. I just don't know. But I am starting to grow concerned with the fact that she just does not look 100% right now. And I worry that she and Arsenal are trying to push her through something that she shouldn't be pushed through. So I say all that to say that I wouldn't be surprised if coming up we see her start getting left out the squad. just because like in that United match, especially, there was a couple of moments where it looked very uncharacteristic of what we saw from her last season, where like she was very stout at the back, she was very sure, everything was very with purpose, and just these last couple of matches, she just looks a little bit discombobulated out there. And so, like I said, I don't know what it is. I think the fact that Renee is keeping 2 goalkeepers as subs kind of says that there might be something going on there. So,
but why does Jenna Neiswanger's name got to be in that?
Well, no, because that was who the question was about. The question that Tim Stillman asked was, why is Neiswanger not a sub, and you have 2 goalkeepers as a sub for that United match? And I'm only saying that Renee's answer made me even more worried for Van Domselaar, because she alluded to the fact that there was a possibility she would have needed that depth, because there was an uncertainty as to whether Van Domselaar would finish that match. And I think that, again, like just speaking to the way that she played at that West Ham match, kind of like these, like I said, she just does not look 100%. Like, that's all I'm saying. She doesn't look 100%. And I think that that's something to keep an eye on for us. But a good point away. Like,
I think with what is it called? With Champions League starting, maybe she'll like focus on those ones, and then maybe have like Manu or one of the other 2
I think it'll be
keepers that they have now.
Borb, the one that they brought in.
Yeah. I feel like they might rotate them and just try and see who actually should be like number 2 keeper.
Please start Manu for the October 4th match. Please do. Please do.
If we, I am saying it now. When it comes to the Arsenal predictions, I reserve my right to wait at least until the team is released, because I guarantee you, if Manu is starting, I'm changing my pick every time. I love my team to death, but like if Manu is starting, I reserve the right to change my pick.
He said Manu is an instant L.
Not instant, but it ain't great. I mean, we saw how. I mean, I remember going into Champions League last season. What was it? We lost like 5-2 to West Ham, and we lost like 4-1.
We don't have to recap the Manu stuff.
And people were like, "Is this team even going to compete with Barcelona?" Like, I'm just saying, man. But anyway, like I said, it was a good point away. Yeah. We'll see how they do in the next coming weeks. I think for Arsenal, like Tom mentioned, the focus is probably going to be October 4th. This coming week looks like a very not tasty week of football. I'm not going to lie. Like, we'll get into it for the preview, but like a lot of these matchups.
Boo.
It's sicko season for this week. I was going to say that.
Just real quick about this fixture. It was a record crowd at Lee Sports Village. Lee Sports Village is Man United Women's main home. Record of 8,665 in attendance. United fans and a sizable number of traveling Arsenal supporters helped to pack out all 4 sides of the stadium. And also, we talked about before, the Arsenal effect. The previous record, 8,348, was set at last season's home match against Arsenal. So
it ended 1-1, right?
I don't remember. That sounds right, but I don't remember.
But like, yeah, this is what I mean. Like Arsenal, again, like lastly, I'll be done after this. But like Arsenal just plays so differently at these smaller stadiums. Like it is a weird phenom. Is that the word? Not phenom. Phenomenon. That's the word I'm looking at. Yes, thank you. It is a weird phenomenon. They just don't, like, they get to these more intimate stadiums and they just seem to like not show up, and it's just really weird because like they play at these big stadiums and they're exploding for 4, 5, 6 goals. So
yeah, it's true. I think we're so used to Emirates now. We just like do so well in that.
So weird,
on the big stage. Okay. Points totals after match week 3. Drum roll, please. Thank you. I'll start from the bottom. In 4th place, Treb with 8 points.
Now you want to start from the bottom. That's crazy. The abuse I'm taking today is insane. From a fellow Arsenal fan, from a Gooner. I'm
just trying to switch it up, Treb. 3rd place. This, that's because you pick Spurs, honestly.
Never again. I'm never fucking them, guys. I'm never picking them again. I don't care. They can play West Ham. I'm picking West Ham. I'll take that L. That's fine.
All right, third place, Mark with 9 points. Second place, me with 10 points. So it's still very close between us. And in first place is still Tom with 15 points.
Still maintaining that 5-point lead.
Maintaining that 5-point lead.
That's great. What you want to see out of three match days. Perfect.
Wait, where is Tom at again? 12?
15.
15? So 7 point. God damn, dude. I'm slipping. I gotta figure out something.
Okay. Any other quick news stuff before we go into? Actually, yeah. Let's quickly talk about Subway footlong cookie cutter cup thing. Really quick. First, actually, someone else go ahead because I did not pay attention to those matches. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't either. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot that they were starting.
Yeah. Because y'all's teams didn't have to play in them. I understand. Blah 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 blah.
I'm glad you got the
Bully
actually
for you.
It actually did sneak up on me. I was like, no. Let me tell you what. I was watching the highlights for, the WSL YouTube page. They've been doing the highlight show. They put all the highlights in one thing, right? And they'll do some like brief interviews from one person from each team after each match. So they were after the Brighton match, they were interviewing Dario Visic, and he was like, "Yeah, it's like good win, all that." Now we gotta get ready for League Cup, and I was like, "Oh, League Cup starting, yeah."
And so, just a quick refresher: these are group stages, right? Like,
yeah,
yes.
Okay. See, that's what I mean. Like, we don't even have to play till the knockouts. What is happening?
We understand that, Treb. Thank you so much for your service. That's so great that's how that happens.
Analysis
for y'all.
Yeah, the Subway League Cup is just WSL and championship teams. So the group stage will have all the championship teams.
There's like four groups. Most of them have 4 teams. One randomly has 5 teams, so they'll have 4 match days. Just going over scores involving WSL teams. West Ham beat Charlton away 5-1. Man City beat Everton at home 3-1. Liverpool beat Sunderland at home 5-0. Brighton went to Portsmouth and won 2-0. London City got a 2-1 win away to Crystal Palace. Leicester beat Ipswich Town at Ipswich Town 5-1. Nottingham Forest beat Newcastle. Oh no, they're not there.
It's okay, you can say it. Those are teams that we expect to be in the playoffs.
Nottingham Forest and Newcastle. Nottingham Forest won at home 2-1. And then Tottenham hosted Aston Villa. That match, if it's tied at the end of regulation, they go just straight to penalties. Let's see. It looks
Tottenham
like
won on penalties.
Yes, Tottenham did one on penalties, 7-6. Even though, and it looks like Noel Moritz for Aston Villa did get a red card. But the big takeaway from this match is that I guess Jessica Nas missed her penalty in the penalty shootout, and she was subjected to racial abuse in her Instagram direct messages. She addressed it on one of her Instagram stories. I believe that was Wednesday, like after the match. It wasn't even like an hour after the match was over that she reported this. I think, Mark, you made the point last year is like that it's not necessarily surprising to you that Black women have been the targets of this type of abuse in this league. It's really exasperating to keep on having to say this, but Black women are people, People should be treated with respect. End of story.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like we've said it all and more in previous episodes, and like, yeah, we can keep saying it, but unfortunately it keeps happening, and yeah, exactly what Tom said.
I mean, like, there's never an excuse for it, obviously, but like, even these low of stakes, like, gets this type of reaction. Like, why are you crashing out over the first?
You're furious at the Subway Cup, whatever. Like, your team
the opening game of the group stage.
Your team won and got points over the other team, so that means that you get 2 points in the table, and you still have 2 more matches to get more points to go to the top of the. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
It's like weird timing to, like, not that any timing is correct, but like she played only the first half. She didn't even take penalties. She didn't even like miss a penalty. She played the first half, was taken out at halftime. So I don't know what happened the first half, if that's like what. But again, there's.
Well, I think she had a penalty chance in the first half.
Oh, was it in the first? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A chance to not have it go 2 penalties altogether. But I mean, it doesn't matter.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
This is something we've seen. This is something we've seen like constantly on the men's side too, right? It's like for England national team, like Cole Palmer or something will have the worst game of his life, miss 1,000 chances, and then Saka will come and miss the penalty, and he's the one getting the abuse, right? Like, this is why anytime a player of color steps up to the penalty marker, I'm like, just make it. Like, I don't even care if you're my team or not. Like, just make it, because if you miss it, there's a 99% chance you are going to be the blame and the brunt of all of the anger. And again, like Tom said, like, Tottenham still won the match. They still get the points. And she's still facing this racial abuse in her Instagram DMs. Like, it is a conversation that is starting to get tiresome, because it happens all the time. And it really shouldn't. Like, it really shouldn't. It shouldn't be this hard to not be a racist piece of shit, but I guess it is for some people.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Tom, do you have anything else you?
No, I was just going to say, let's talk about match week 4. Like, because I can't deal with it.
So just one thing I wanted to say real quick about League Cup. Just one note. So there were a couple WSL versus WSL2, aka the championship matchup, and WSL teams, just like last year, won all of those. The one that jumped out to me was London City beating Crystal Palace, because you had like the newly promoted team versus the most recently relegated team, and even then, like, London City, like, it wasn't a big win, but it was a win on the road. You know, and it's funny because London City in this competition last year lost like 5-1 to West Ham.
Well, London City also, it's important to point out, have a whole different team.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I see your point. Like, they very much were like, we're the WSL now.
Yeah.
And that comes with an air of confidence too. Like, now that you're like in the upper league.
I feel bad for
the one that stood out to me was Liverpool Sunderland. Especially because of how Liverpool has played in the league, and then just putting up 5 on Sunderland, and especially they must have been playing with like such heavy hearts, and great. Like,
it really shows the talent gap. Yeah,
it does. It shows a talent gap, especially because Sunderland is second in championship.
Well, I mean, even West Ham, we're laughing at West Ham being a garbage team set for relegation, and they beat Charlton 5-1
and washed Charlton.
Like, the talent gap is so huge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say, like, even if London City are in the relegation zone, they're gonna, like, with this year's format, they're going to play in that playoff. And like, I don't see how they lose that, because like, this talent gap is just it is just so big. You know what I mean? Like, how do you I mean, again, anything could happen, and I'm all for the chaos, but like, how can I expect any different other than them going in and winning that?
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. Let us go to match week 4. We'll quickly preview. Okay, we're not quite at 2 hours yet, so okay, I don't want to make it too much longer. But we'll do a quick preview. Starting off with Arsenal versus Aston Villa. That one is going to be played at the Emirates Saturday, 12 p.m. local time. Trev, prediction.
Oh God, starting with me. I think Arsenal does well. I think the trend continues. Villa are going to score, probably first. I think Arsenal win at 3-1. I don't think it'll be a complete blowout, but I do think Arsenal control that match. I think especially after that draw to United, they'll be looking to kind of get back into winning and winning big, and so I think it'll be 3-1. And we continue to see the great play of Katie Reed. I mean, I talked about it a couple weeks ago, and in that span between the last time we recorded and now, there's been like 20 different stories on how well Katie Reed has done. So, like, shout out to everyone that must be listening to this. But, like, yeah, she's come in and filled in for a great, she, like, with Leah Williamson out hurt, like, she's filled in phenomenally. And she's been a real fun player to watch. She just turned 19 years old, I think, today. Or yesterday was her birthday, so happy belated or happy birthday to her. And I think at home at the Emirates on a big stage, Arsenal get it done 3-1.
Tom?
I have no reason not to believe that Arsenal will not concede the first goal, and it will be an absolute banger from Ebony Salmon, probably like within the first 15 minutes, and then Arsenal will then proceed to score immediately 6 goals. So I got 6-1.
6-1. Okay.
Your scorelines are so wild. Like, how are you in first place and your scorelines are so insane sometimes, brother? This is crazy. This is actually insane.
I know. Part of me is like, do I just copy what Tom picks?
That's what I'm saying. Why are we going first? Let Tom go first from now on.
Mark?
Yeah, I'm thinking a 3-1 Arsenal. Or no, I have 4-1. Yeah, 4-1 Arsenal. I think, I just think Arsenal are gonna
until proven wrong, Arsenal will concede first, yes.
But yeah, I think they'll take care of business. And even with what I was saying, kind of being impressed with Aston Villa before, I think they'll struggle in this match.
All right. I have 4-2 Arsenal. Just because, I think they might concede first, and then Aston Villa has looked. I mean, they've had their chances against, in the first 3 weeks. So I feel like maybe they could sneak another one past. But I think Arsenal do get the win. Then we have Manchester City versus London City Lionesses at Joy Stadium Sunday at 12 p.m. local time. Okay, Tom, we'll start with you.
All right. A pissed off Khadija Bunny Shaw in a contract year at home. She scores a brace. City find a way to get another goal. They'll probably concede the Nikita Paris goal. So I got 3-1, Bunny scoring 2, Nikita Paris scoring London City's goal.
All right. Mark?
Yeah, I also have a 3-1. I just think this will be too steep for London City. I don't have any prediction for goal scorers, but I think City get the job done.
3-1. Nice. Okay. And then Treb?
Keating is going to start, right?
She is, in fact, going to start.
I feel like as much as I like her, like, she's good for letting one in. I think it'll be 4-1. I think Caroline gets a goal. I think Viv gets a goal. I wouldn't be surprised at a bunny brace, but we'll see. But I definitely think Caroline and Viv get goals, and it'll be 4-1. Easy wins at home for City.
Interesting. I don't know where to go on this because I feel like City. I'm not fully convinced.
No, me neither. But I don't think London City are going to provide anything for them, to be honest.
You
want to go with the draw so bad, I can feel it.
No, I'm not going to go with the draw. I'm still going to go. Well, no, I'll still go with the City win just because they're at home. I'm going to go with the City win, but I think I'll just go with 2-1.
Respectable.
Or should I go with maybe 3-2? No, I'll do 3-2. I feel like there'll be more goals.
She said no defense for anybody.
Yeah, I was like 3-2.
Well, like I said, Keating is good for letting in one. It's possible she lets in two. But I think she's good for letting in one.
To be fair to her, the whole goal, she wasn't gonna do nothing about that. Like,
no, well, I'm just saying though. Like historically, like she's typically good for keeping one.
For certain.
Then Liverpool versus Manchester United at St. Helens Stadium, Sunday at 12 p.m. local time. Mark, prediction.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted.
I thought you were heavy in thought. I thought you were just like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think I believe in Man United's good form. I think it will continue. I think Liverpool will get a goal just because they're at home, but I expect United to win this 3-1.
Tom?
I got 4-0. I don't think that it doesn't matter where Liverpool is playing. Like, I don't think that they can compete WSL competition. And Man United is really good, and their lack of depth is not gonna at a point in the season where it's going to come up and bite them. So 4-0.
I'm a little bit different. I think Man United have an eye on the Chelsea match at home the following week. And so I think that mixed with coming off of the Arsenal draw at home, I think they get the win for sure. But I think it'll be 3-1. I think Liverpool probably sneak one early and United finish them off.
Okay, and then Tom, I'm not copying you, but I am going to say the same answer. Same prediction. I'm going to go with 4-0. I don't think Liverpool can get one past Fallon.
Yeah, this is the other thing, man. It's so hard to say that.
So I'm going to go with 4-0 United as well. Even though, like, I still think it's early enough that they're obviously not burnt out yet. Like we said, come like November, December time, it might change. But right now, they're still strong. They've still, they're almost, mid-season form with how, the number of games they've played also. Cool. Then Brighton versus Everton at Broadfield Stadium, also Sunday at 12 p.m. local time. I'll go first this time. I'm going to say, oh man, do I trust in Brighton again? And then, or rather, I should word it as I shouldn't trust in Everton because they've let me down the first few weeks. So I'll probably do at home. Y'all good? Somebody fell down.
That was me. I was reaching for trail mix and I knocked over some stuff.
Sometimes, yeah. All right. Should I go big scoreline? I'll go 4-1 Brighton.
Confidence in Brighton.
I was like, either I'm going to do 2-1 or 4-1, and I'm going to go 4-1. Treb.
I am going to say 3-1 Brighton, and I'm going to say we finally get the Ajuman goal.
All right. Tom?
I also have 3-1. I just think that Brighton's a different team when they play at Broadfield than when they go anywhere else.
I just don't trust Everton right now. They're in the prove it stage for me.
They're in the prove it stage, and they have to face Ndozi in goal, and I think
that's tough.
Yeah.
And Mark.
For me, these are two teams that I kind of consider favorites. These are two teams that I think are competing for fifth, sixth, that type of thing. So it's difficult for me to really judge these teams. I definitely don't trust Everton, but I'm not ready to fully give up on them. And with Brighton, it's they had that good performance, but I don't fully trust them yet. So I'm gonna go with the 2-2 draw.
Going with the draw.
Fair.
All right.
That's definitely a place where Mark could pick up points.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
is.
All right, moving on. We have Leicester versus Tottenham. King Power Stadium, Sunday, 12 p.m. local time. Tom, what do you got?
This is the sicko special. I don't know. I don't know if I literally do not know if anything is going to happen in this match. Like it will kick off, and the referee will blow the whistle, and it will end. That is the only thing that I'm sure that will happen, and I think that is the beginning and the end of the match. Therefore, I have a 0-0 draw.
Wow.
Bold.
Yeah.
What? Like what? Who? What?
But also, I get it.
Like what evidence do I have to the
What's gonna
contrary?
happen? No, fair enough. I'm gonna go 1-0 Spurs. I feel like they're gonna get like a weird penalty or some like fluke goal, and it's gonna go 1-0. Mark.
What did I put? 2-1 Spurs? Yeah. I think that I think Spurs will find a way. Like, I definitely expect it to be ugly, some real sicko ball type stuff, but I think like Beth England will get the ball over the line somehow, and then somebody else will manage a goal. So I have 2-1 Spurs.
Okay, and then Treb.
Thankfully, that is one of 4 matches on at the same time. Unfortunately, they are all on at 4 a.m. my time. So I will be a sicko up watching all of these matches. 1-1 draw. Like I said, I'm never picking Tottenham to win again. They can go fuck themselves. And I think Leicester does just enough to score. I think Leicester, they got ran by United in the opener. They won against Liverpool with the player down, and they pushed Chelsea to the limit. So I think they are starting to build a little bit of confidence. And, I don't think it'll be enough to hold Tottenham scoreless, but I think 1-1 draw in a very you better love soccer to watch this match type of match.
And then finally, to round out the weekend, we have a London derby, West Ham versus Chelsea
Yeah,
at
London funeral is what we have.
the infamous Chigwell Construction Stadium, Sunday at 2:30 p.m. local time. Mark, who do you have?
I actually thought about this for a bit. I'm gonna say 2-1 Chelsea because I'm not expecting us to light the world on fire. Like, I don't know. I hear Chigwell and it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah.
Can I just say there's nothing worse than a Chelsea fan who acts like their team sucks, bro? I'm so tired of this fucking shit y'all do. Y'all do this shit every fucking week. I have so many Chelsea fans I know that do this thing of like, our team sucks, our team sucks.
No, I think he's also doing the calculus of like, we got a whole bunch of ballers on our squad, and that French lady manages our squad. So like he's trying to do that balance between like, okay, well, it's like, is this going to be more talent, or
is this going to win in spite of?
Right.
Is there going to be some soccer ball? We've definitely seen that. I don't know. So like in terms of the performance, I think it's going to be another mixed bag. Like that's where Chelsea are at right now, apparently. But I still expect them to come out to win.
Okay, you said 2-1 win.
Yeah.
Tom, what do you got?
3-1 win for Chelsea. Alyssa Thompson scores her first WSL goal at the Chigwell.
Ooh,
okay.
That's a real lore.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just like something about the symmetry of how that all works for me.
Trev.
I think Alyssa Thompson scores if she starts. If she has to come off the bench, I don't think she scores. I think Chelsea win 3-0.
Ooh, 3-0.
I don't see West Ham scoring on them, to be honest. Like, I just don't see it. If ever there was a match I wanted to lose points and be wrong, it's this one though. But
yeah, this one I do think Chelsea will win. However, I feel like I kind of also want to go 3-1. I don't think it'll be a complete blowout, but I don't think West Ham can do enough to like even get a point. Like we said, Leicester pushed Chelsea quite a bit, but that was like a lot of it was Leipzig. I think it's Kirby on West Ham who, like, I don't expect her to keep out like 7-8 shots if she needs to. So I will also go 3-1 Chelsea. Okay. That rounds it out. That one, I know it's like the later Sunday match, so sometimes I know they do that for TV. I don't think this one is on BBC or anything here. I know the Arsenal United one was on BBC. That's why I was at like a weird 2:50 p.m. local time. Do you know where to find the matches on your end, guys?
I do actually, because FODMOB actually has it this week. It didn't have it fucking last week, but this week, yes. So 4 of the matches are on ESPN Plus. Arsenal, Villa, Liverpool, Man United, Man City, London City, and West Ham, Chelsea.
I was about to say that sounds about right.
Yeah, I was going to say the usual suspects.
Usually, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, and United are on ESPN Plus typically.
But it's the fact that 4 of the matches this week are on ESPN Plus. So I think like kind of what we talked about before with with Sky getting more matches this year. I think this is a knock-on effect of that. Also, I know we're wrapping up, but what have you guys' thoughts been on the actual broadcasting so far? The use of multiple cameras in every game, but also the use of the graphics and all that, because I think the production has actually been a lot better so far this season.
Yes, and like some of the matches, the streams of the matches on YouTube have been terrible. Even some of the streams like on ESPN Plus have not been the best.
Although to be fair, ESPN Plus streams are just a mixed bag in general, like in any sport.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's very true.
I think it still depends on the stadium. Like, as weird as it sounds, because like that Arsenal Man United match at that whatever stadium United was playing in, like that
Wii Sports,
yeah, like that looked terrible. So I think a lot of it still has to do with like how some of the stadiums are laid out and where they can put cameras, which is like honestly the same problem NWSL has with a lot of these teams still using their older stadiums. Like, it really depends on where you're at and where they could have some of these cameras, because like you go to BMO for Angel City and like that looks phenomenal, and then you go to like Louisville and that looks like trash, and it's just kind of like, okay, what are we doing? So I think, but I do agree with Mark to an extent, right? Like, I think the production value after we got past that first match day of technical difficulties, like, it has looked really good. It's been nice, and it's always nice when you can find most of the games on one network, like ESPN Plus. I know not everyone has that, but for those of us that do it, it's nice to have majority of games on there, and then the ones that aren't there are on YouTube for free. So
yeah, and you can get those matches, or the replays are put on YouTube. So even if it airs on ESPN Plus, you can go back and watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Anything else, guys? We've had a long episode, recapped a lot, hit a lot of news as well.
I just think the most important takeaway from this week is find someone you can talk to. You matter. We love everyone, whether you support our teams, whether you're against our teams, whether you watch us because you love us or watch us because you hate us. Everyone matters. Just find that support, however, wherever, with whomever you can find it with, because at the end of the day, you deserve to live a long, healthy, prosperous life. I know things are hard right now, but just know that we are all with you through whatever you're going through, and just find someone you can talk to, because the last thing you want to do is leave this life early. So that's my big takeaway from the week.
And, I think, I was looking at our group chat as well a little bit, and they're making good points. Like, this community is so good for finding people, but it also, like, soccer itself can be so isolating, especially, you know, like women's football, where you might not know a lot of people in person who follow it or who you can like share the passion with. But that's why like the online community has been so great. And that's how we met, and that's how
Yeah.
this started.
Hit
And
us up. Like, I don't care. You like there's
Literally.
listen, I literally have
Hey.
tons of City and Chelsea fans that are friends, and tons of City fans that like I interact with on Blue Sky. Like, I am always happy to talk this sport and to just talk with people in general. So like, you know, all of our socials, whatever, like, do not be afraid to hit us up. We're always happy to chat. It doesn't have to be about Arsenal, although that would be a lot of fun too. But like, I'm always happy. I like you can ask Tom and them. Like, I'm always happy to talk with anybody about anything. So
For sure.
and I feel like we're all the same way. So
Yes,
Absolutely.
100%.
Trev, you just said that so well, and I really don't have anything to add. Thank you for speaking for us. Like that was lovely.
Absolutely.
I have my moments. I'm not just loud and obnoxious. Duality of man, everybody. Let's go. We're back.
That's right. That's right.
Oh. Okay, folks. Thank you guys for staying with us this long. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Hit that follow button to stay up to date when new episodes drop. Leave a rating and a review if you can. Like Treb said, interact with us. Talk to us. We would love to see you. Poor host. You're listening to the 12.
UK internet held on just long enough. Let's go.